we talked about, you can see that I'm talking about $7,500. He says that he would pay back, and then he also says that they were replicas, that he got scammed, so he would work it out to be able to.
How do you respond to that? Because I do see that text where you say they were replicas, I got scammed. You can toss them or keep them, whatever you want to do. But I'm concentrated on making it right. Got to get that money back.
I knew he was mad, he was frustrated. I was basically just trying to talk to him like customer service. Long story short, I told him that the shoes were as is and that if they were coming with the receipt and that it wasn't refundable. Long story short.
Judge Juarez.
Where was the receipt supposed to come from?
The store that sold the
What
shoes.
store?
It was a Foot Locker store.
Okay, a Foot Locker. Did you get a receipt?
No.
Did you give him a receipt?
No. I didn't
Okay,
give him
so
a
then you
receipt.
didn't live up to the sale if you didn't give him the receipt.
After he had told me that the shoes were fake, I told him that I had already resold the shoes to other people and that they didn't have a problem with it. And I do have the receipt if you want it. He said, no, I'm trying to give the shoes back to you and get a refund.
Okay, all right, Mr. Pitts, you confronted him soon after receiving them.
Yeah, I also was trying to do daily check-ins, like, you know, any update. Like, how's your guy telling, is it? And then he was like, oh, it's been shipped. I'm like, well, it's been shipped for a while. Like, you know, I'm starting to think in my own head now. Like, after a week, you're like, okay, maybe it's delays, you know, stuff like that.
So why not at that point say, like, ugh, I want out of this?
Because it's more of my own trusting in a friend type of thing. It was my own fault, I would say, in that part.
Yeah.
When you do transactions with somebody that you can see on a regular, you kind of just try to keep it as much as like, all right, maybe it is weather problems, maybe it is delays in shipping, maybe it is this, maybe it is that. And you're like, well, as long as I get the shoes and they do what they're supposed to do, I don't care how long they take. Like, it can be 12 months. As long as I can sell these once I get them, they're fine. Like.
So, Mr. McWright, we've had a discussion about this as-is sale, and you usually hear that with cars. Do you think that applies? Like, if I say I'm selling you my Toyota and it turns out to be a Ford? Like, if it's not actually what I say it is?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So you would agree that if they're not authentic shoes, the as-is thing doesn't really matter?
Yes.
By the way, do you remember him telling you that it was an as-is sale?
I don't quite remember that, but I'm not saying.
But you cleared it up. You're not taking the position that when you said as-is, you had some question about the authenticity. You believed you were actually selling the authentic shoes, and in fact, if they turn out to be, because that's the second issue, to some extent we have to conclude whether they're authentic or not. But you do understand that the plaintiff was very, very specific about the shoe he wanted, right? So if you didn't deliver the shoes he wanted, don't you think it's reasonable we undo the sale? You give him back his money, he would give you back the shoes. Would that be reasonable?
If the shoes were counterfeit and...
Well, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Where are the other shoes?
At home.
Have you sold any of them or attempted to sell any of them?
I mean, once I figured out they were counterfeit, I'm not trying to sell off.
Right, it will hurt your reputation at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not something I want to do. Most people are trying to buy a real shoe now. There are.
And you would have probably been boxed into selling them if you were upfront about it for the retail price of, what, about $200 and some odd dollars?
If they're counterfeit, you got to sell them below that pretty much at that point. So maybe 180.
Do you think you could sell them for that, like upfront, or it might be difficult?
It might be difficult because you have to have a specific community of people that buy replicas.
They will buy them knowing that they're knockoffs.
Yeah, but knowing that, so you have to find those specific communities, and I'm not really plugged in with those.
So what are you planning to do with the 5 pairs?
Like he told me, I either could resell them or throw them away. They've been sitting in my room for a while because I was like, well, maybe I can just give them back. I don't know, I don't just throw stuff out until...
If they're a size 8, he's leaving them here with him.
What size are they, actually? Okay.
All right. If they're size 8, they're going to get left behind.
I'll get my own. I'll get my own. All right, the parties are excused while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you very much.
This court is again in session.
We've come to a decision. It's unanimous. We conclude that the plaintiff did not get what he bargained for, and therefore you should return to him the purchase price for the sneakers. Our maximum jurisdiction is $5,000, so our verdict will be in favor of the plaintiff for $5,000. Now, that's less than what you expended for them, but you're also going to be able to keep the shoes, and hopefully you'll deal with them in a responsible way, but you still wouldn't be made whole even if you sold them as replicas. So the verdict is in favor of the plaintiff for $5,000. Thank you both for...